Season 2 of House of the Dragon is here, and, well, didn't quite start how I thought it would. So welcome back to the channel. Please, we're going to be covering House of the Dragon Season 2. Please hit the like button on this video, share, subscribe if you're not. Going to have lots going on. Going to start covering Acolyte too, I know, brave. But House of the Dragon is the topic of the day, and I stayed up late last night watching it and covering it, and man, I can't really say I was that thrilled. Now I'm gonna try to, we won't spoil right ahead, but you know me, I gotta get right into the spoilers because I got lots of questions, and I'm not sure exactly. I have some ideas where we're going, especially in the next episode, so I want to get those out there, but man, I can't really say I'm quite happy with where we're at with House of the Dragon so far. Now, I want to get some of the good things out right away. So as you can see, I got the video up here. We're not going to play all of it because I would like to be able to play the video, but we get the quick recap, and then we get this new intro, which I will have to say I quite liked. It was actually pretty cool. I thought it might, the first thing I thought of when I saw it was they were throwing shade at a certain other fantasy property that has to do with, weaves and threads and patterns, that fantasy property called Wheel of Time. This could, how is it that Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon does a better intro for Wheel of Time than Wheel of Time does? I don't know, but if you're watching Wheel of Time, people, maybe just steal this. I don't even care. Just steal it. There's a million things you could do with this type of intro. Just take it. It would be a million times better than what you've done. But this is not a Wheel of Time video. Let's get back on House of the Dragon. So I do like the new intro. I thought it was very interesting, very cool to look at. There's lots of, I think there's lots of tidbits to take away from it, lots of cool artwork. So I personally, whether it's your style or not, I personally enjoyed a lot of the intro. Okay, now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Steve, Prophet, whatever you want to call me. We're talking about how good the intro is. So are we in for it? And I have to say yes, probably we're in for it, because I was disappointed by this episode on many levels. Look, HBO has shown us time and time again they know how to make fantasy shows. Game of Thrones, even though it crashed and burned, it looked beautiful. Part of what propped it up really high was it was going head to head with this thing that we call this abomination that we call the Rings of Power. But while you're watching this, you are assured, you can see just from this scene on top of the wall at the beginning here, the costume design is on point. The ambiance around them is on point. The sets, the backgrounds, everything that is going on in these episodes is done very artfully and skillfully. I believe I'm on top of that wall looking down on the other side, and I don't know what's coming, right? So HBO, you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna get an initial higher rating because they do a great job of presenting these types of stories. Like I said, it looks beautiful. The costumes look great. And then last season, on top of not only it just looking great on its own, it had Rings of Power, which looked like utter garbage to stack itself up against. So, could this be one of the challenges that Season 2 of House of the Dragon is going to face? It does not have a direct comparison to that garbage show Rings of Power. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments, but I think that it is going to probably suffer a little bit by not having that direct comparison one-to-one for us to draw from, because even this episode, I've already started sort of wondering what the hell is going on. What are the writers thinking? But we will get there in a second. we start the episode at the wall. Now, I had to have it explained to me a little bit because I missed it, and I will go back and watch for some of these other things I missed. If I miss anything, just let me know in the comments, and I didn't catch it all on my first walkthrough, I'm sure, but I wasn't quite sure why we were at the wall with the Starks at the Night Watch gathering men for Rhaenyra. Or is it? I'm terrible with pronunciation, so just beat me up for the Queen. It was a little bit. I guess we're out gathering support, so fine. But I initially thought they were getting Night's Watchmen to come walk down south, which didn't make much sense to me. But I have been told it was 2,000 Northmen, so that makes a lot more sense. So that part is much better. But I will say it felt good to be back at the wall. I know it was Rememberberry. I know it was to invoke that feeling of, wow, the wall. Remember the wall. Well, in this case, I think it sort of worked because I did enjoy being at the wall. I did enjoy listening to the Stark. I don't know the name. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the character. I think it was Clegane. I don't know if it was Clegane Stark or whatever. But this Stark generation, I did enjoy. It sounded a lot like Kit Harington's accent, so that was pretty cool. And I did enjoy the wall scene. From there, we sort of start plummeting. So we're gonna get pretty heavy into spoilers here. As always, if you agree or disagree, just let me know in the comments. And there's lots to discuss here. But there is, in terms of good stuff, you have the presentation, the acting, some of the dialogue is okay. But when it comes to the actual story that's going on around it is where this episode really starts to take a dive. And, in my opinion, now you may have enjoyed it, but I'm not saying by any means that this is initially doomed by this one episode. I think it's trending the wrong direction. I hope that it rights the ship, but in my opinion. But there are some things here that were deeply troubling. So we're going to get into some spoiler stuff now. So if you have not seen the episode and you do not want to be spoiled, first, before we go into spoilers, though, I would say, if I'm being generous, maybe a 6 out of 10 for this. And that's being generous because it was beautiful. The music was good. The ambiance was good. The acting was pretty good. But the story was lacking. I could almost go down to a 5 because, and I may, after discussing it over and over again, with all the glaring problems coming to the surface. So we're gonna go full into spoilers now, and pardon my clicking around because this is the best way for me to do it. But we get back to after we have the scene where we are with the Stark. The head of House Stark. I'm assuming that's who's at the wall. I'm not sure if it's the Stark representative at the wall. Either way, it doesn't it is what it is. We're gathering troops for Rhaenyra. Fine. We get back to after we have the wall scene. There's a letter handed to gosh, man, I can't remember her son's name. Whatever, to Rhaenyra's son, and he gets the news that his brother is dead. We then get to this here we go, and I'm gonna try and pick out the scene. Maybe I'll put the closed captioning on. Maybe that's gonna help us out here, too, because this is where we immediately get into some problems for me. Okay, so we come back to it's I always forget her name, but the queen that never was. You guys will have to. Oh my gosh, what is her name? I always forget her. Oh gosh, her. Well, whatever. Damon comes out and says, "Look, we're gonna go kill Vhagar. Rhaenyra. We're gonna son for a son. right? And she's like, I've been out patrolling, yada yada yada. And then I want to see if then we get the whole, and then Damon makes a point. Damon says, look, Rhaenyra, I get she's mourning, but she is neglecting her duties as queen. And Rhaenys is basically telling Damon, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. When I heard of my daughter's death, I had to see her. I didn't accept it. Blah 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 blah. But Damon's still right. She's skirting her position now, which is fine. I mean, look, she's mourning, But if we remember from the end of last season, Rhaenyra, took a husband, right? Took a husband whose name is Damon, who would be in charge of affairs while she's gone. Yet we have this line, if I can find it. Bear with me while I find it. So we get this line where Damon says, "Fly with me. Let's go get Vhagar. Let's take it out, because it's really, we take out Vhagar, not only do we avenge Rhaenyra and Luke, we basically win the war. That's the only weapon they got." Then she walks away. Damon says, "It's a command," and she says, "Would that you were the king." He is the king. He is the king. Like, what are we doing here? Like, have we forgotten? Is this just a glaring mistake that we missed? Damon is the king. Just because she doesn't like that doesn't mean that... And then he just lets her walk away. So Damon has he is the king. He is consort to the queen, which puts him in charge when the queen is gone or indisposed. Sort of like what happened with Alicent and Viserys. Alicent did a lot of crap around King's Landing while he was ill. He is in charge. She is gone. So he is the king. So how have we messed that up? So from there, this is where stuff starts rolling really fast. So let me, let's move on. So that was highly annoying. We then, we get a scene of Rhaenyra, who is definitely in mourning. She is trying to find her son. That's all fine. If, of course, maybe she would have, helped Damon out and said, "You're in charge." Oh, wait, everybody should know he's in charge because he's the king. Whatever. We get a weird scene with Corlys just to introduce this guy. There were some... You guys are going to have to tell me in the comments or not. I got some weird vibes from this scene. I hope it's not... I had this weird premonition that Corlys and this character, his name of course slips me because I'm terrible with names, but yes, he saved him, pulled him out of the water, but the scene was done in a weird way, and all of a sudden this theory came into my head that maybe Corlys was forgiving of his son being gay because he and I always forget her name. I'm gonna bring it up in my other tab. Where is it? I always forget it. What is her name? I always forget it. Rhaenys. There you go. Rhaenys. Are doing a similar thing that Rhaenyra and his son did. That he's on the down low. Let's see if that's right or not. I hope not, because we don't need that bullshit. Just let Corlys be a badass. So we find out that his ship has been found, and yada yada yada. We're introduced. This scene is just here to get this character in the show. So we're gonna get more from this guy one way or another. We see a scene of the Scorpions, so the defense against dragons at King's Landing. Let me see here. We get they did it. I'll be quite frank. They cast Aegon and Aemon backwards. It's extremely jarring after seeing them as kids. They seem reversed to me. But we get a scene with his queen talking about the rats, which we're gonna see pay off later. yada yada yada. Then of course we get to Alicent and Commander Cuck Cole, who is of course munching on her poon because but we can't do that again. So Christian Cole again showing that he's a piece of shit. So at least he's on character. Fine. We go to so then we go to the small council where I don't know why we're so busy trying to make the Lannisters into a freaking joke, but fine. So we got Jaceera, is it Jaceerys? I can't do these names. Aegon's son, wants a ponyback ride from the Lannister. I mean, the keeper of coin. It's like, oy, okay, so we're showing what a terrible little piece of shit Aegon is. Okay, fine. The thing that I was keying on personally was the fact that I don't know how the Greens are going to win this war at this point. And it's really a tugging point for me, all right? Because I think I've talked to a few, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay, again. Rhaenyra has, and Daemon have 9 dragons. They have the sea snake, they have the sea blockade. No supplies are getting into King's Landing, and they have 9 dragons. They have the support of the North and several other large houses. The Greens have 2 dragons, Sunfire and Vhagar, and that's it. And some scorpions. I don't understand, and it bothers me. Okay, I know Vhagar's a huge dragon and all that stuff, but it bothers me that Vhagar went from just a regular dragon when his other rider, Daemon's wife, was riding it. Now Vhagar is just super dragon, and it's like, is it because Aemond is a prick and is just the dragon takes on the guise of the rider? Maybe I missed all that part. I don't know, but Vhagar power level trumping 9 dragons. I have a lot of I'm having a hard time believing that the Greens are going to can mount any defense at this point. If they just went and they are up against it big time. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. But I'm having a hard time. So we have the small council meeting. Aegon's a complete asshole. But the crux of the matter is basically we find out that Alicent and Otto basically have no power anymore. Aegon doesn't care, and we're introduced to basically. Let me get a picture on him because she's like she makes the best faces. Let's see if I. Oh God. Let's see if I can get to a shot of him. There you go. Aegon, aka Joffrey. I guess it would be Joffrey 1.0 because it came before Joffrey. But it's basically, so far, it feels like Aegon is Joffrey. I don't know. What do you think? You tell me if I'm wrong, because that's how right now that is what I'm feeling, is that Aegon is just Joffrey. Only Joffrey did it better, and I still get the 2 kids reversed from when they were young because they did a weird piss poor job of matching up the kids when they aged them up again. So we have this small council, which is basically, like I said, you get a little idea of how fucked they are, and Aegon's an asshole, and they demean the Lannisters, and Alicent is basically a non-entity now, and she doesn't like that. Then we get the creepy scene with the guy. I don't understand why anybody pays attention to Larys Hightower. He's a creep. I don't understand it. I mean, maybe he's just that good at getting information. But not only in this episode, not only do we have him in a position of power with Alicent, basically creeping her out to the point where she can't take a bath because, you know, he's that much of a creeper, that he's hired all her staff, and she's just like completely freaking paranoid. So great job getting into bed with this creep. But later on, he's sitting there whispering into Aegon's ear because Aegon is a gullible dumbass. So why are people listening to them? Because they're just all idiots, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on the show. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. So the Larys stuff, I don't get. I don't understand why anybody listens to the dude at all. I guess he's just that good at getting info. Then we get what I thought was a good scene. Rhaenyra, is it Rhaenyra? I always forget. Rhaenyra? It's Rhaenyra. Happens to spot these fishermen pulling a dragon wing. The dismount would actually look pretty good with the dragon. So, she freaks out, and as she should, she pays no mind to the fishermen. She just swoops down with her dragon to see if it's her son. And, I like this scene. The dragon looks good. Everybody's acting like they should. She doesn't give a crap about the fishermen. She just cares about seeing what's going on with the dragon. I actually think it would have been cool if the dragon started eating people, but, we don't have to be too morbid, right? I mean, come on now. So, that scene plays out, and she finds that it is, and she has a full-on breakdown, which was a good scene. I enjoyed that scene. I thought it was well done. All the way around. We then go to Aegon the Idiot, first of his name, King of the Dumbasses, asshole of the morning, being an idiot. Now, of course, doing everything wrong when he's talking to the partitioners, having no idea what the hell is going on in his own kingdom, saying the wrong thing every time. Now, I will say I have to take issue with one thing in this too, because we have the sheep thing, which I get that he just wants to be liked, so he doesn't get that, we can't give the sheep back. But the thing that I did not understand, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, is we have the Smiths of King's Landing coming to King Aegon and saying, look, we are very proud to be making weapons for you, sir. But we are running out of coin, and the amount of weapons you have us making, we need some sort of, guarantee that we're going to get paid because, it takes a week to make a scorpion. Now, I don't know why it takes a week to make a scorpion for the ballista, but whatever. But correct me if I'm wrong, we are in war. We are in wartime. I think it would have been actually cool to have complaints about stuff being taken away from the other people in the name of getting the Smiths paid and getting them everything they need to make weapons, because they're gonna need them. So you would think that they want the Smiths working 24 hours a day as much as possible, right? So I wasn't quite sure why Otto didn't want the, I guess they're just in that bad a position that they can't even pay the people that are arming them. I don't know. Now, we haven't even got to the really bad stuff, guys. This is just sort of side grade irksome stuff, okay? It's not good, but it's everything looks great. I love the throne room. It looks good. So moving on, Otto is, of course, saying you're an idiot. Oh, then we have the aforementioned scene of Larys the Creeper talking to Aegon about how his father was pliable, while he does the exact same thing about trying to remove Otto from being Hand, because of course Larys wants to be Hand. So is Larys going to be Hand? Probably. Which is, I guess we're that predictable now. I mean, maybe he won't be. Maybe they'll surprise me and Larys won't be Hand. But I'm pretty sure Larys is going to be Hand. I haven't read Fire and Blood, so I don't know. I don't know if Fire and Blood even tells you. But So we have this scene where Aegon is again being an idiot and being manipulated because that's what Aegon does. Now, then we get to Alicent and Otto basically saying, hey, we're fighting each other and we have no power, so we should stop that. And Otto says, yep, you're right. And then that's it. So then we get to and this is where shit starts hitting the fan. So we have the blockade, the Sea Snakes blockade. Jesus, just get there. Oh my god. I just want a shot of the boats. There we go. Okay. So we have the Sea Snakes blockade. You know, you got a boat, you know, it's like two cars pulling over a transport boat. They've blockaded any goods from coming into King's Landing or out, I guess. So they stop the boat and they board it like the Coast Guard. What do they find on the boat? Well, we find the most trustworthy person in the whole series, the White Worm, Daemon's former biatch and fiance. Excuse me while I take a sip of this frosty root beer. Delicious. Moving on. So we see the White Worm, who is just like, fuck you, bitch. And he's like, no, fuck you, bitch. And she's like, no, fuck you, bitch. Then we skip to scene of, Daemon being pissed that she's here and that she betrayed him, and her going, he just paid me money, bitch. I don't, fucking, it was just a transaction. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Daemon just basically being, and Daemon does what he should, puts her in the cells to rot. Good for you, Daemon. Way to go. So probably should have executed her, but whatever. I guess, cells to rot is just as bad. We have this scene of between, is it Eric and Daemon? I think his name is Eric, the twin Kingsguardmen. And they, Daemon's, I guess, pissed at him because Daemon's just pissed because Rhaenyra isn't back, and he's just wants to do something, and he's just mad at everybody. And then Rhaenyra shows back up. They have their little touching moment, which was nice. I enjoyed that. And she comes and sits down, and she's like, "Yo, what's up?" Daemon asks her if she found what she needed, which was good. This was a good part of this scene. And she comes to the front of the table, and they give her a quick update of what they've been doing while she's gone, and she says one thing and one thing only. And I'm gonna pause it here for a second because she only says one thing, one single thing. This is where the episode goes off the fucking rails completely. She says, I want Aemon Targaryen. Okay. Again, need another drink of my frosty root beer. Excuse me. Delicious. Okay. Where did we start the episode? Right? Where did we start? Okay? What did Daemon want to do? Immediately while she was grieving, Daemon wanted to go with Rhaenys, with her dragon, to kill Vhagar and get Aemon Targaryen. So I'm thinking, hey, self, I guess the plan is on. Let's grab the dragons. Hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's get 4 of them and let's go kill Vhagar. And we'll end this war before it even starts. Let's get their biggest weapon out of the way. And there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. We have the dragons. We have the ocean. We have the numbers. It's over right before it starts. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Let's see what's happening. So we move on. She says, bring me Aemon. Daemon, watches her walk off. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get on my dragon. We're going to do some shit. And then next thing you know, he's down talking to the White Worm again because we trust her now because she's transactional. Sure. Okay, fine. So Damon is like, so why you're here, I still don't know. So Damon's down here talking to her, getting information about uh, folks in King's Landing, and you're like, okay, what the hell? Okay, fine. Information for your freedom is transactional. Fine. So Rhaenyra is still mourning. Is it Jace shows up to give her a report of everything he's been doing while he was gone. Of course, he is distraught because he's found out his brother is dead. This was another good scene. I enjoyed this scene by both of them. They're both obviously very upset and in mourning, and I thought this was a good scene. I enjoyed it very much. Moving on. We have the burial. Fine, nothing much to say there. And let's see here. The burial. Moving on. Oh, yes. Okay. So here's where everything goes tits up. Literally. Okay. So, next thing we know. We are on the Westeros Express. I know Dragonstone is not that far from King's Landing, but it's far enough that this seemed very fast. We're just there. Why do I say that? Because Daemon is on a little canoe rowboat, and Daemon is in King's Landing. Okay? So Daemon is in King's Landing. So Daemon, if you haven't figured it out, has decided to just go off on his own and take care of the shit himself. Just throw caution to the wind. He's going to get Aemon because the queen wants Aemon, and I guess the original plan to have Vhagar killed and to get Aemon is not good enough anymore. So, Daemon just happens to walk up to a gate in the street and find the one gold cloak that remembers him and that hates the Hightowers. How about that? Wonderful. So he pays the guy. He says, "Fuck the Hightowers," and he's like, "All right, sweet, we're good. We're in business. Let's do this." So Daemon Targaryen, probably the number one most wanted person, probably maybe even above Rhaenyra at this point. Daemon Targaryen, public enemy number one, is in King's Landing. Okay, so we now have him hooded, walking around the old neighborhood with Mr. Captain Goldcloak asshole to meet with the asshole number two, who we lovingly call asshole number two. So asshole number two is here, and we talk about the tunnels because of course there's always back entrances for the lowlies to be moving about the royal palace, right? So this is apparently, I don't know if this is the guy the white worm put him onto, or if it was the gold cloak guy, probably this guy. So this is the info that he got from the white worm, that this guy knew paths in between in the castle, the Red Keep, to be able to get him to Aemond. How could this go wrong? Does this sound like something? Does this sound like a risk that Daemon would be taking, especially taking on himself and not hiring people to do, even if he wanted to do? Oh, but Steve, he is hiring people. Oh yes, but he is also in the frickin' city, and he's hiring two people to. It's just nonsense. Okay, so when nonsense happens, what do you think is going to happen? More nonsense. So. We negotiate a deal. He throws a bunch of gold at him. He says, "Sure, why not? I'll kill the guy with the scar." We then have Cuxo Cole, the King Cuck, the Cuck Maker, Christian Cole, talking to Aemond. Hey Aemond, I just plowed your mom. Oh, well, that's interesting. I'm stalwart, and I have no feelings, and you're plowing my mom. That's good. Does that make you my father? Why, yes, I am Christian Cuck. I am your father. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Can we go kill some things? Because I am an emotionless stone-faced guy ever since my eye was plucked out. And I have Vagar, and Vagar is like worth 18 million dragons. Didn't you know that? I did. I am Christian Cuck. I know everything. Oh my God, you know everything. That's wonderful. So they plan. So they sit here and act like they have a plan. Uh, Here's their plan. We're going to march from King's Landing and keep recruiting people as we march out of King's Landing. Sound like a good plan? Sure. Wonderful. That, I could be wrong, but that sure sounded like the plan. Yeah, as we march out of here towards Dragonstone, or towards Harrenhal, we'll just, we'll recruit people. Good idea? Great idea. Let's do it. Fabulous. I mean, do we forget that, like, why Damon had tried to fly to Harrenhal twice to secure that relationship, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about petty revenge, because that's we're not at war or anything, right? Okay. So sorry. So Sir Christian Cuck number 5 is making plans, and then Otto comes in and says, "Aemon, stop being a douche." And Otto and Aemon's like, "You stop being a douche." And Aemon's like, "No, you stop being a douche." And then Otto's like, "Fine, Aemon, I'll stop being a douche if you stop being a douche." And he says, "No, I like being a douche." And then Otto's like, "Well, fine, then I like being a douche too. So fuck off. I'm going to keep being a douche." And Aemon's like, "Fine, I'll keep being a douche too then. Fuck off." And then they scene. Then we have the rat trapper guy leading number 1 asshole Gold Cloak. Asshole number 2 is leading asshole number 1 into the back ways of the Red Keep. With the dog, I guess because the dog is hunting rats. I mean, we have a wabbit slash rat hunting dog, I guess, and this back tunnel just happens to come upon Aegon and his buddies, drunk on the Iron Throne with apparently only one guard. Apparently, the Red Keep is so secure, it only needs, like, a few guards. So we have one guard here, which is more than we thought we had. So at least they're protecting the king. I'll give them that. But, so this is where I thought things were going to get a little bit crazy. Because Aegon is definitely drunk. There's I think 2 guards in the room. And you have asshole number 1, Gold Cloak, who is proven himself to be a very good warrior. So this is where I thought things were going to get crazy, and they were going to go, well, Aegon is technically a brother. He's not the scarred one, so let's just fucking get him. And I thought the Gold Cloak was going to kill all the friends, dispatch of the guards, and get Aegon, and either kill him or kidnap him and bring him to Daemon, and Daemon would have been like, "You fucking idiot, this blah 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 blah, I said the guy with the scar, yada yada yada." That's where I thought we were going. No. We just hold on, let's see if we can. We have all the idiots. Of course we have to have the idiot entourage. What fantasy show would be complete if the young idiot king named Joffrey Baratheon didn't have his idiot entourage of friends that he could get drunk and sit on the throne with? Wow, Alicent, you are doing the realm such a favor. Thank you. So, apparently, people just walk through. Okay, so it's 3 Gold Cloaks, 4. Okay, so there's more guards than I thought, but I still think there's 1, 2, 4. So there's 4, maybe 5 guards. So he's a little bit more protected than I initially thought. So that's good. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm glad for it. his friends are all idiots, but we'll get beside that. So apparently we're letting them by because he's got the rat traps and there's a rat problem in King's Landing. So okay, fine, no problem. I thought it was a little weird that they didn't even say anything to him as they walked by the king, but okay, fine. So I guess that's why the kidnapping thing didn't go down here. Well, no, I think I just don't think they even thought of him overpowering him and kidnapping him. So which it's fine. He is outnumbered. So fine, okay. But initially, I still think that him trying to get Aegon would have been much better than what they did. Okay, which we're gonna get to. Okay. So they just let him walk through without a word, which I thought was, I still think was a little bit weird that they didn't say anything to him, even though they just, you would think they would. I don't know. The king is right there. You got two weirdos. I think they would have stopped him, but whatever. A little bit of a nitpick. Okay. So now we get into the underbelly of the thing, and asshole number 2 says, "The royals are upstairs. I don't know how to go up there." Frosty beverage break. Excuse me a second. Delicious. Okay. So, asshole number 2 says, "Fuck you, I'm not going upstairs." Asshole number 1 then chokes him, says, "The fuck you're not. You're going upstairs. We're getting Aegon." And he says, "Okay, fine." So they decide to go upstairs. And with their torches, and because blah blah blah. So and in between there, they kick the dog because we want him to be just a complete asshole. So asshole number 2 kicks the dog. Fuck you. I hope you die a horrible death. And then we get to where the episode completely takes a giant fucking shit, which is, we happen to wander into the Queen's room. Oh my god. So I'm not going to leave you in suspense too long. For some reason here, the two of them decide, well, fuck it. A son is a son. Let's just kill the heir to Aegon's throne. Let's kill the prince. The toddler prince. Let's murder the baby. Now, we all know why they've done this. They've done it because they think that House of the Dragon and also Game of Thrones are all about, we have to just shock the fuck out of you and do the thing and go, oh my god, did they just do that? Oh. So they put the knife up to her throat and say, which one is the heir? And then she doesn't even try to lie, which I found very problematic that she just, I mean, I don't know what else she's supposed to do, but she just didn't even try to lie. She just said, he's right there. And, they do the whole play on, oh, is she lying? And he looks at her and goes, oh, no. She doesn't, like, the vibe from that I got from this, and again, in chat, or in the comments, correct me if you think I'm off base here, tell me. The vibe I got from this was the queen was definitely made a choice to save her daughter, because her daughter is more important to her than her son, at least personally. So it really felt like she gave up her son willingly. Not that she had a choice again, but she definitely was more concerned about the girl staying alive than the boy. That's the vibe I got. Maybe I'm off. It's possible. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Whatever. Now, in reality, we have two assassins here who the queen can fully see. If these two have now at this point decided that they are going to kill the boy, if we are living in a reality world where these are assassins, what do any of you thinking people on the planet think is going to happen here? What actually should have happened, and what actually would have been shocking? Now, I still think it's all bullshit. We shouldn't even be here. Like, all of this is... Damon, I don't think Damon would ever have done this. I think it is a stupid, stupid risk, a stupid plan, and he would never, ever, ever, ever do it. But we're here. So if we were here, what would really happen? 2 assassins. They're in the light. They're not hooded. They're not in disguise. They're about to kill the heir to the throne. So if they are committed to killing the heir to the throne, do you think we want any witnesses to that could maybe identify me? No. What would actually happen here is they would kill everybody. Because guess what? You don't want to be identified. Because do you know the things that Aegon and Alicent and Aemon and all of them are going to do to you if you get caught? So at this point, if you have decided to kill one kid, you've decided to kill them all. Because you, at this point, do not want to get caught. If you get caught, you are going to get messed up. They will kill you, revive you, and keep killing you. You will know nothing but pain for the rest of your existence. So if you're going to kill the child, it now becomes about, I cannot be identified. I am not going to leave any witnesses. Everybody's got to die. But no, of course not. We do the stupid thing of we threaten her, she gives up the boy, and she then sneaks out while they're killing the heir to the throne. They let her go with the young girl. Of course, we then of course she runs in, and we of course have Christian Cuck III is plowing Alicent again, because Alicent has nothing better to do because she has no power anymore, so she just thinks about plowing Christian Cuck III, mega penis, because, you know, if you've broken one oath, why don't let's just keep breaking it. Fuck if I have zero honor, let's just keep plowing her because I'm a piece of crap. And she walks in on them and she goes, oh my God, I wasn't really fucking him. I was just sitting on his cock. Because it was, I don't know, what's wrong, darling? What happened? What's wrong? And then the episode ends. Now, I know I was a bit all over the place, okay? And I probably did not do it justice how stupid all of this was. It was incredibly dumb. None of this should have happened. Not one single bit. It is all played out like everybody is an idiot. Why would they, like... Because I am at this point, I am half expecting when we pick up in the next episode, they're gonna come out and tell Daemon, "Oh, we couldn't find Aemon, but we did what we thought was the next best thing because we are brilliant thinkers, Daemon, because that's why you hired us. We decided we would kill the heir to the throne. We killed the king's son because we thought that was a great idea. We didn't think that he didn't have a scar on his eye, but he was another boy, so we thought that would work." And Daemon's probably going to kill him, and then he's going to, skulk away and get back to Dragonstone, and then the rest of the episode is going to be fucking, bashing, Daemon bashing, everybody, all over Daemon because he made an idiot decision, and the worst possible outcome happened, which is they killed a baby instead of getting Aemon. Like, it is literally the worst possible thing that can happen, and that's what they're thinking. It's like, oh man, that creates drama because the worst. But it's stupid how you got there. It is completely ridiculous to think that Daemon would take this course of action. Nobody would take this course of action. They had the course of action. Get on the dragons and go draw him out and kill the dragon. That was what they wanted to do. And that is what he wanted to do. And that's what he would have done. This half-assed assassination attempt with two guys we just pulled off the street because now I trust them to get the job done on a fucking very, very important murder. Like, we didn't spend any time planning. We just decided, fuck it, I'll go get two randos off the street and they'll be good enough. It's ridiculous. This would never have happened. This should have never happened. And the fact that you know, and now it's all going to be Damon bashing. Damon, how could you? What were you thinking? David, you went off half cocked like you always do. And the worst thing possible. Now you've made me look weak. And now the realm is turning against me. That's why they did it, because they have backed themselves into a corner where Rhaenyra, I fucking don't remember her name. Rhaenyra is she is in the too strong position. She is in too strong a position. So they had to do something ridiculous to turn Westeros against her, to lose support of the people. But still, she still has 9 dragons. But I don't know. It gives me guys, am I... And I'm sure I missed some stuff, but this episode was not good. It was not good. The last 10-15 minutes when this whole murder plot is happening was shit. It was dumb. There were other things they could have done. They could have done something with Aegon. The two guys could have got caught, and they could have got tortured and given up Daemon. You could have had the rat catcher turn on Daemon and be like, look, you know what, he could have walked into that throne room with the 5 guards and said, hey, look, this guy is betraying you, and Daemon Targaryen, that is worth probably fucking 18 sacks of coins, is in King's Landing. If you go out there and grab him, you can have the king, the fake king, to execute, and as a gamble, as a barter token. Like, we didn't even like think to try and play up the fact that the rat catcher could have just betrayed Daemon for more money. He could have very easily gave up the gold cloak and said, hey, Daemon Targaryen is in King's Landing. You might want to muster your troops and go grab him. And risk getting paid that way than going on some fucking spy adventure to kill an infant boy to get paid. Like, does he really think, like, Daemon's gonna kill him because they're both fucking idiots? I don't know, man. Like, and we started right off bad with this whole scene. Immediately put me on the back foot when she goes, if only you were the king. Have you forgotten, show, that Daemon Targaryen is married to Rhaenyra Targaryen? He is the king. What the fuck? And it pisses me off because the armor looks so cool, and the dragon stone looks so cool, and the dragons look so cool, but everything that they're saying is stupid. God. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Like, I hope they turn it around, because this breaks my heart that it was so not good. Please turn it around. Please, I beg you. It looks so good. Please get your shit together. Please, on the way out, everybody here, consider becoming a member. Like the video, please. We're going to cover the rest of the season. Like, share, subscribe. Pray to whatever God you pray to in the 7 kingdoms that they turn this crap around. Episode 2 will be the Daemon is an asshole episode. Mark my words. Lord Corlys, you want to hear my nightmare scenario? we next episode, Damon is just brought to task for being an asshole. He's made to look like an idiot. He's talked down to all episode. I told you so. You should have done that. Damon, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have done that. Damon, you stupid. Why would you go off half-cocked? Damon, you're a piece of shit. Why don't you listen? Blah, 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 blah. Lord Corliss is going to be on the down low. This is my nightmare version. Lord Corliss is actually on the down low, and just like his son. So you find out that his kids aren't really his kids either, or some bullshit. He's really shacking up with the boat guy. And then, I don't know, Aegon continues to be an asshole, and Larys lets Aegon lick his toes so when he becomes the Hand of the King. I don't know. The dragons all say, you know what, this is stupid, and fly the fuck out of here, and we never see another dragon again. And like that, and that is the last thing, a parting note. They're pretending to be Game of Thrones. Okay, this is House of the Dragon, not Game of Thrones, okay? Like, they want you to think, they want to remind you of Game of Thrones, the shock value, the gore, some of the gory scenes they had in Game of Thrones, some of the sexually explicit scenes where, you know, you're in the whorehouse and you had the sex happening everywhere. So they're sort of teasing you with that to make you think, but they're not even committing to that. They're teasing that Alicent is doing the thing, but you don't see anything. You sort of see it a little bit, a tease, but they're not even committing to doing that. Now, whether the actress has a clause in her contract, fine. But if you're going to tease that stuff, you should have it show up in other places for the payoff. You can't just keep teasing these things and think there's like, oh man, that Game of House of the Dragon is just like Game of Thrones. They don't give a fuck. They're doing everything. No, they're not. They're faking it. Stop faking it. Stop faking it. Start doing it. Get some balls. Get some writers. Learn how to write. Get it back on track. I want to see some dragons throwing fireballs at each other in the sky and having fucking sword fights on Dragonback. Can we please get some of that shit? Can we please get back on track, please? Please, I beg you. Thank you again. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Till next time, all hail the Lord Dragon. Whew. Damon, get yourself together, man. Get yourself together. Please. Bye.